Now, the argument of inimitability of the Qur'an is again a deductive argument which will be sound, the conclusion will be sound if the premises hold true. Now, premise one, let me just highlight the argument first. Premise one is that a miracle is something that lies outside the productive capacity of nature. Premise two, the Qur'an lies outside the productive capacity of nature. And in conclusion, therefore, the Qur'an is a miracle. Right? And this is a valid deductive argument. Now, what I'm going to do, premise one is pretty self-explanatory, right? A miracle is something that lies outside the productive capacity of nature. If it didn't, then it wouldn't be a miracle. Now, premise two is what I'm going to highlight and just discuss briefly for you. Now, why does the Qur'an lie outside the productive capacity of nature? Well, let me break this down for you. Simply, to understand this argument, what we have to realize is the Arabic language, just like every other language, has a structure. The Arabic language is broken down into prose and poetry. Prose are further broken down into two categories, rhyme prose and straightforward speech, and poetry is broken down into further 16 rhythmical patterns. Now the Qur'an descopes these known forms of the Arabic language. It's in the Arabic language, yet it doesn't conform to any of these known forms. And this is why Arabist Orientalist Arthur J. Arbery states the Qur'an is neither prose nor poetry, but a unique fusion of both. And this is the point. You can take the finite alphabetical letters and the grammatical rules and you can exhaust all possible combinations, and you cannot produce something like the Qur'an. And it's not that no one's tried. People have tried for centuries and they have failed, and their failed attempts have been recorded in history, and you can go and check some of these out. And the amazing thing is that the Qur'an makes this challenge. Several times in the Qur'an, for example in chapter 2 verse 23, the Qur'an states, and I'm paraphrasing, the Qur'an says that if you are in doubt as to what we revealed to the messenger, then produce a chapter like it. The shortest chapter of the Qur'an is only 3 verses long, but no one to date has been able to produce something like the Qur'an. This is a miracle.